What is going on, everyone? NASCAR Joshua 5 here, and today I'm back on Automobilista 2 for another brand new update. And this update adds some more Formula 1 cars to the game. Recently, in the last update, there was the new Formula Edge class, which recreates the 1995 season, and then there was the Formula Hybrid Gen 1, I believe, which recreates the 2014 to 2016 era of F1, the early hybrid era. Well, today I'm going to be checking out, which this update released yesterday, which was on Saturday, the 13th, I want to say, of June. This update adds some more F1 cars, and for this time we are taking a look at the early 2000s of F1 racing. So we have excuse me, we have the 2001 to 2003 era with the Formula V10 Gen 2. I think that car was already in the game, but now there's two of them now, and they're labeled as the M and B. M being for the Michelin tire, and B being for the Bridgestone tire. Back then, Ferrari actually was known to run the Bridgestone tire, and then most of the other teams ran the Michelin tire. So that's the first iteration of cars we're taking a look at here today. And before I continue with that, here are all my settings. I'm currently actually was driving on the Thrustmaster T80 in this video. This is a post commentary, but I did drive the game using the Thrustmaster T80 for this video, and I highly recommend this game. If you have the T80 and you have a PC, I highly recommend trying this game. It's very easy to set up, it's very easy to drive. The handling is a little floaty, but for the most part it drives really well and it handles really well. The F1 cars have a little bit of traction issues, but you can adjust the setup a little bit, really increase the rear downforce, and that's one of the things that really helps, and put soft tires on the car if you're just doing like me and you're just driving by yourself and you're just hot lapping or whatever. Yeah, that's what I had to do, because the F1 cars just didn't seem to have a lot of traction out of the corners. They were just really tricky, so excuse me, but keep that in mind. But here's the audio settings I just showed here. And we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at the rest of the cars I was talking about earlier. So as you see, that's the Formula V8 Gen 2. We'll get back to that. So here's the V10 Gen 2, and they're in all the liveries. So this is the Bridgestone variant, and you can see on the tires as well the difference between the Bridgestone and the Michelin tires. And here is the Formula V10 Gen 3, which I believe is covering the 2004 to 2005 season. And that also has a B and an M difference, which again, it's Bridgestone and Michelin. And then here is the first of the three licensed cars we have for this update is Reza Studios, or Ryza Studios, if that's how you pronounce it. They have a relationship or a partnership with Renault now. So three of Renault's F1 cars are in the game. It's the R25 from 2005 you just seen here. Here's the R26 from 2006, and the also race-winning 2008 Renault R28. Of course, the Renault R25 and 6, if you follow Formula 1, is known for giving Fernando Alonso his two F1 World Championships. And there is the Renault R28, which also is a race winner with Fernando Alonso. He won the Japanese Grand Prix at Fuji, and of course the very controversial Singapore Grand Prix from 2008 that we all know about. If you're an F1 fan, you know about that. So that's all the F1 cars, and we also have a bunch of new classic tracks, or classic variants of the tracks. So for Barcelona, which F1 was just at this past weekend, we have the 1999 version, and we also have the 2001 layout. So really cool there. This game is so great for recreating classic F1 racing. You could pretty much recreate almost any era. It's just insane. And also, you've seen the Formula V8 car also had the 2006 skin pack. Hungaroring 2025, that's a new track to the simulator. That will be DLC that you have to pay for after the free period that we always have. Also, you see Imola 2005, and then Indianapolis Motor Speedway also has a 2001 road course and oval layout. Really cool there. Of course, Imola 2005, you can recreate some cool moments. And Monza Historic 2005 too. My buddy will like that layout as well. Of course, for Imola 2005, that's well known for the battle between Michael Schumacher in his Ferrari, and Fernando Alonso in the Renault R25 that's in this update. So that's really cool. And then the last track we have is Spielberg from 2001, which is the Red Bull Ring we know as now. So yeah, I'm just gonna shut up now and let you all enjoy the beautiful sounds of this game. The sounds are incredible as always. I'm just gonna show each F1 car at a random track. I will show you what track I'm driving on and everything. So turn the volume up and enjoy, and I hope you all enjoy the great sounds of AMS2, and I will catch you all next time. See you later, everybody.